Hey everyone, welcome back to Setup Zero1. And you know what? Today we've got something really special. A game coming straight out of China that's been turning a lot of heads lately. It's got action, mythology, tragedy, and those endless desert vibes, all wrapped up in a visual style that'll seriously leave your jaw on the floor. The name? LOULAN, the Cursed Sands. So yeah, grab some popcorn, sit back, and get comfy, because this one's gonna be good. Now here's the thing. LOULAN feels like a game pulled straight out of some ancient dream, or maybe a curse that finally woke up. From what we've seen so far, it's an action RPG with a totally unique vibe, set in this massive desert world full of ruins, secrets, and whispers of a lost civilization. If you're into history, fantasy, and that heavy, satisfying kind of combat, this one's definitely worth keeping on your radar. The story takes us to the ancient kingdom of LOULAN, which, fun fact, was a real place once, right along the Silk Road in western China. In real life, that kingdom mysteriously vanished more than 16 centuries ago, buried under the sands of the Taklamakan Desert. And that's exactly where the game builds its world, a land where time, wind, and curses all kind of blend together. From the trailers, LOULAN comes across as this once glorious empire now completely destroyed by war and betrayal. Centuries later, you step into the ruins, facing twisted creatures and vengeful spirits, all wrapped in this eerie, almost poetic atmosphere. And you know what's super cool? The devs over at Chili Room actually mix real history with fantasy in such a clever way. They even took inspiration from real archaeological finds, like the Princess of LOULAN, a 4,000-year-old mummy discovered almost perfectly preserved. That little detail alone says a lot. You can tell they're grounding the game in reality, while still building their own myth filled with symbols and emotion. The environments look absolutely stunning too. We're talking buried cities, forgotten temples, frozen caves, hidden oases. Each one feels like it's got its own story waiting for you. Kind of like Journey meets Dark Souls, you know? The warrior's journey and the curse of the sands. In LOULAN, you play as a royal guard who once died protecting the kingdom, only to be brought back centuries later. But here's the twist. He's not human anymore. He's a cursed skeleton, resurrected by the very sands that consumed LOULAN. From there, your journey begins, uncovering what really happened to the kingdom, and most importantly, to the Princess of LOULAN, who might just be the warrior's lost love. That part hit me right in the feels. It adds this tragic, emotional touch, like a hero chasing the faint echoes of a past he can't let go of. The cool part is how the story leans into this whole "who am I now" theme. The hero's torn between the man he once was and the monster he's become. It gives the story this poetic layer about guilt, love, and redemption. And the best thing? The game doesn't spell it all out with dialogue. It's the world that tells the story. The wind whistling through ruins, the distant sound of chains, that heavy silence that somehow says everything. That kind of environmental storytelling? I'm all in for it. Gameplay-wise, LOULAN, the Cursed Sands, is an isometric action RPG. That classic top-down perspective, kind of like Diablo or Bastion. But the combat? Way more cinematic and deliberate. It's got that early God of War energy. Every strike feels heavy. Every movement matters. No mindless button mashing here. Timing is key. And get this, the protagonist has two forms, the sand form and the bone form. In sand form, he's quick and agile, literally shaping sand into weapons. In bone form, he becomes this towering skeleton warrior, swinging a massive blade forged from condensed sand. You can switch between them mid-fight, chaining combos and swapping styles on the fly. That right there, that's some seriously cool design. Gives the combat a ton of depth and style. And then there's the environment. It's not just a backdrop, it's part of the action. You can trigger traps, deflect attacks, even use the terrain to your advantage. And yeah, the bosses, they look epic, massive, mythological, and downright intimidating. If the devs stick the landing, those battles could be the best part of the whole experience. The sand itself? It's alive. It's not just part of the scenery. It's woven into combat, exploration, and the hero's story. As you progress, you unlock new sand abilities. Things like building bridges, summoning sandstorms, creating shields, or even dissolving into dust to sneak through cracks. It's wild, super creative, and honestly, totally gives off Prince of Persia vibes in the best way possible. Even the progression feels different. It's not about grinding levels or chasing loot, it's about mastery and self-discovery. Each fight feels like it means something, like the hero's reclaiming small pieces of his lost humanity. And honestly, that's just beautiful. Now let's talk visuals, because wow, LOULAN looks absolutely breathtaking. Everything's designed to suck you right into this cursed desert. The color palette dances between golden sands, deep blues, and dark shadows. It's all about contrast, light and dark, warmth and cold, life and death. And the way the sand reacts, to the wind, to movement, to combat, it's unreal. The world feels alive. It's one of those games where you'll literally stop mid-fight just to soak in the view. And the enemies? Gorgeous and terrifying. Each one's inspired by Chinese mythology, from ice spiders to sun warriors to monsters born from sand and bone. They've all got this dark, ancient, almost spiritual vibe to them. And the soundtrack? Oh man, it blends traditional Chinese instruments with sweeping orchestral music. Never too much, just perfectly balanced. Sometimes it steps back and lets the silence and the wind do the talking. It's that kind of immersive, emotional soundscape that makes you forget you're even playing a game. Now here's the cool part. Behind all this magic is Chili Room, the studio known for Soul Knight and Otherworld legends. But LOULAN? This is them going all in. It's their first full three-dimensional project, built for PC and consoles. Easily their most ambitious game yet. The team's pretty small, around 16 people, but a bunch of them used to work at big studios like Santa Monica, From Software, and Platinum Games. So yeah, they know what they're doing. And get this, LOULAN is part of Sony's China Hero project, which supports indie devs from China. That means it'll likely drop first on PlayStation 5, but it's also coming to PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store. Director Hong Wen-Huai said his goal was to bring back that early 2000s action game spirit. Think God of War or Onimusha, but rebuilt with next-gen visuals. And honestly, that just sounds awesome. Even without a release date, LOULAN the Cursed Sands is already making waves. Critics are paying attention. Kotaku called it one of the most beautiful indies under the desert sun, and Push Square praised its visuals and combat feel. And you know what? It's been a while since I've been this hyped for a Chinese game. LOULAN doesn't try to copy the West. It fully embraces its own culture, its own soul. It's a story about time, loss, and what's left behind when everything fades into dust. If it nails the story, the combat, and that haunting atmosphere, it could easily be one of those rare games that stay with you long after the credits roll. Not because it's the biggest, but because it's the most different. The kind of game that doesn't need to shout. It just whispers, and lets the sands tell the rest. And that's it for today's deep dive into LOULAN the Cursed Sands. Honestly, this game has it all. Emotion, mystery, and that rare kind of beauty that sticks with you long after you stop playing. So yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on this one. And if you're into rich worlds, cinematic combat, and stories that hit you right in the heart, you probably should too. But hey, what do you think? Would you play LOULAN the Cursed Sands when it drops? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss our next game breakdown. Thanks for watching, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one, right here on Setup Zero1.